Oh, there it is. It worked.
We are live. Hello there, collectors. Welcome, fanboys. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties there. As you can see, it's just Tony and myself tonight.
The greatest show we've done in some time.
Absolutely. Magic Lasso's unable to make it tonight, but he was able to get the stream kicked off for us. So
Yeah, channel takeover at Magic Lasso.
channel takeover. Yep, absolutely. Now, Tony, I did promise that I would keep you under control, though. So, but unless you promise to keep me under control, my hands are untied.
I promised that I would be uncontrollable. So.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yes.
Tim, I'm glad that Magic Lasso pointed that out.
Where is Tim? All right. I see we've got John's Comics with Kids in the chat. How's it going, man? I was getting a little worried there. I wasn't sure we were going to be able to kick this off. I had access to the stream, but when we got in, we realized there was no go live button. So
yeah, kind of need that. That's important. That's kind of important.
I can change everything else, but not I can't make it go live. So, all right. Well, let's get this started. We have a very exciting evening tonight. We've got Green Lantern, my favorite.
Absolutely.
But before we get into the story, Tony, what's in the news this week?
Oh man, I would say probably the biggest news, comic book wise, is for me is that a new DC Black Label coming out featuring Zatanna.
Oh, nice!
And it's going to be Black Label itself. They're usually geared for more mature readers, and I guess we're gonna get the Zatanna treatment.
Is it gonna be like the magazine size?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I it doesn't say, but I imagine it would be.
Okay.
It says it's going
I've seen some Black Label are normal size. I don't know how they choose.
Yeah, I don't know either. But this one says it's going to highlight her dark past. So I'm not sure what that means. Written by Macario Tamaki and Javier Rodriguez. So not familiar with those two, but they had like one splash page up, and the art looks okay. I'm more excited for the character than I am the art, but who knows? Maybe it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's been a while since they've done anything with Zatanna, huh?
Yeah, it's been a long while. I know she was part of Justice League Dark for a while, but nothing standalone for Zatanna.
Yeah,
for quite a long time.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah.
I saw James Gunn put some rumors to bed as far as the new Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah, there was talks of some Wonder Woman, like they had a replacement, then they didn't have a replacement. Then Wonder Woman 3 was coming back, but James Gunn was like, hold on, like everybody just take a step back. Although Karen Gillian, not sure how you pronounce her last name, from Guardians of the Galaxy, she said if she could pick a DCU character, she'd pick Poison Ivy.
I could see that.
That's pretty cool. She said she would want to pick the Poison Ivy, where she is probably at her prime and already is dating Harley Quinn. So maybe not where I would like.
New 52.
Yeah, post New 52. Yeah.
Is that Prime Ivy?
That's what she said, Prime Ivy. So
I might disagree. I think the kick to the face was Prime Ivy.
Yeah. It's exactly. The Vigilante, I guess, is everyone. He's been on what's it? Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Yeah.
Yeah. They I guess they want to give him the movie treatment.
So weird.
But I mean, if they were going to do that, they'd have to go back to the original Vigilante, the cowboy Western Vigilante with the red, the red
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. He was on Justice League Unlimited for a while.
I don't recall that, but okay.
Yeah, you don't recall that? He was on the scene with uh Arthur from Excalibur. Um, they had this big battle at the end where all the heroes were in it.
Gosh, I don't remember.
Anyway,
How's it going, Collect a Lot? Thanks for showing up.
what's up, buddy? Yeah, uh, that's kind of really it. News wise, it was real quiet.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that this is some kind of calm seas before we get to some big ones. I'm sure they're going to have some kind of big announcement at San Diego Comic Con. I'm sure they're keeping all those kinds of stuff like close to the pocket. Keep in mind, we James Gunn
When's that?
confirmed
When's San
June, I
Diego?
think. June,
June. Okay.
June. Because James Gunn himself said they have already cast Booster Gold. They haven't announced who it is yet, but he's been cast. He knows who it is, and I imagine that the Lanterns. Speaking of which, the Lanterns, since that's going to be the big step in this big DC arc, that they've probably already done some casting. Who knows? Maybe we'll get that at San Diego. I'm very hopeful we'll get something at San Diego. So,
I'd be excited to see something big Lantern wise.
I
It's
think
been
we
way
will.
too long.
It has.
It's been what, 12 years?
Yeah. It
Right?
feels a
12
lot more.
years.
It feels like a lot more. You're right. It's been about 12 years.
Yeah.
Because I think they announced Lanterns for the Snyderverse. That was the latest like big news.
Yeah, there was something related around that. Yeah, and well, and they in the Snyder cut, they had a lantern as well, right? That they added in, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I remember you're talking about. Oh gosh, name escapes me. But yeah, it's been a while since we had some Green Lantern news. But last big news from Green Lanterns, we had James Gunn announce that it was going to be a buddy cop between Hal Jordan and John Stewart. It's going to have this
Right.
big pivotal arc. Like it's going to introduce the big bad into the DC universe. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
All right.
But in terms of news, I just typed in Green Lantern to see what happens. I got nothing. Nothing you
Well, the
consider
big Green
news.
Lantern news this week is the Fanboys because we've got a
Yes.
killer Green Lantern story tonight.
Yes, we do.
Which, by the way, do you think that has anything to do with Lasso's absence tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, Snyder was on Rogan. That's right. Yeah, people I saw were
That's
unhappy with his Batman take.
I loved his Batman take.
No. Well, no, because Batman is not supposed to kill, and Snyder said something like, "That's the first." That's he. As soon as he heard that, he wanted to make Batman kill. So people weren't happy with that.
Well, that just goes to show me that he says he understood the source, like he was a Batman fan, but if he says something like that, that tells me maybe not.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, I never heard of Batman not killing. Like, well, how could you not have? If you're
Yeah.
this big DC fan. But whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, big Green Lantern here for the show. So I think I'm going to pick. Geez, I don't know. I'm going to pick. I got a couple here. I think I'm going to pick my. I'm going to wear the blue Lantern ring. What do you think?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
What are you going to go for?
Mine are just out of reach.
I'm going to go with blue on one side, red on the other.
All right. Well, actually, that's a good lead-in to the story we've got tonight.
It is.
So
it is indeed.
For those unfamiliar with this story, this is the prelude to Blackest Night. Blackest Night being the big epic arc of the John storyline, basically bringing the Blackest Night into reality, the prophecy foretold, and that's where we've got the Black Lanterns, which eventually led to Brightest Day with the White Lanterns. But leading up to all of that, we were introduced slowly, one at a time, to the emotional spectrum, and Tony's got all the rings.
I'll just wear them all.
So tonight we're going to be doing Agent Orange, Green Lantern Volume 4, number 39, 40, 41, and 42. before this, before these issues came out, Hal Jordan had just wrapped up the War of the Red Lanterns, and at the end of that, he had they put a ring on him, and he was being overtaken by the red ring when Saint Walker showed up and put a blue ring on him, which overtook the power of the red ring, leaving Hal Jordan now with a green ring on one hand and a blue ring on the other, and he's kind of like split down the middle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's some really great art panels that depict that.
Yes, in fact, with this, I also wanted to bring my collection here because some of the variants are pretty cool too.
I've been looking at some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I've got 2 additional ones on the way, the second prints. But yeah, Green Lantern 39 this is what we're going to be reviewing tonight here. Sorry. We've got Agent Orange. I think most people consider this the first Larfleeze, although I isn't Green Lantern 25 technically like he's in a little panel.
You're right.
I
I think
think
you're right.
so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's
Then
see.
we've got issue number 40 here. This is like peak Geoff Johns era.
Oh yeah. You know, it's
Uh,
funny because I met Geoff Johns last summer and he did this panel. And one of the questions was, who came up with Larfleeze? Like what was your inspiration? And he said he couldn't say that because he'll get in trouble with someone that he knows personally. So I was like, okay, fair enough. That's cool to know.
Here's issue 40. There's Hal with the blue and the green.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's a nice variant there. We're also going to get some, check this out. We got Fatality and John Stewart. This is another variant cover.
And not a Mortal Kombat crossover.
No, no. Got the 41A cover. Tony will be reviewing this one tonight. And then another, check that variant out. Oh, I hate this glare.
Yeah. Well, the top loaders don't help, but yeah, I've seen that before. That's
It's a
awesome.
nice one.
But yeah, it
And then,
says first Larfleeze, you're right, was 25.
yeah. But this is really his first like real appearance with like in story and all.
Yeah.
And that's 42. All right.
I like how issue 42 is just a homage of issue 39.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Is it really homage if it's in the same volume? Yeah, right. See,
Mine.
I mean, in the story it makes sense, but if you didn't know it, and but you knew what a homage is, you'd be like, "Wait, what?"
Right, right. So so before I get into issue 39, what's your take on this whole story leading up to this, Tony? Is this, I mean, I'm assuming you've read all this, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, an absolute must read for Lantern fans or Orange Lantern fans or red. Just if you're a fan of the emotional spectrum,
Yeah.
as I am, I love the way they interact with each other. And we're not going to get to that tonight, but there's this big emotional space battle kind of thing, and I love that. I really love that, and I think this lays a really nice solid foundation for that to build on.
Yeah, well, and the balance between the different lanterns, right? So like I mentioned, like he's the blue ring helped him shed the rage of the red lantern, right? And
Mhm.
and actually the way the blue ring works is it can't work on its own. It actually superpowers the green ring.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like how each ring, has a certain interaction with this color. It does this, and then if it goes over here to do this, it does something else.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, we're
pretty
gonna
cool.
see a little bit of that tonight.
Yeah.
So all right, well, why don't I share my screen here? And we will get started with Green Lantern number 39. What a great cover. Yeah, I think I still need this one. And I think I have this one on the way. I don't know. All right, so it starts out with this kind of orange glow in space and the words mine. And you can see this is a new lantern symbol. As we get closer to this light, it'll all be mine. And he's screaming, stay out. This is the Vega system, the planet Okara. And what we get here are, I believe they're called the controllers. And it's been a while since I read this whole story, so I don't exactly remember their storyline of why they're here. But I believe they're like the Guardians originally came from their race, right, Tony?
Yeah, yeah. Now that I think about it, I think you're right.
Like way back when they
Yeah,
branched off, they became like the controllers and the Guardians, and so we've got the controllers here um, in the Vega system on planet Okara.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we hear this voice coming from kind of the darkness saying, it's mine, get out, you know. And he's saying it's been a long time since anyone disturbed us. um, and he observes that they're so tall, they're not like the little blue men, referring to the Guardians, right? And basically what's happening here is the voice in the darkness is Larfleeze, and we see that he's getting upset with with the little blue ones, the Guardians, because they had promised not to ever come back. And he's realizing that he can't trust them. He thinks these controllers are the Guardians, or that the Guardians sent them and they're here harvesting the black stars. um And so as they continue to walk around, they're seeing, like, they come across this like feast, but all of the food's been like rotten, but they can tell it's also been freshly eaten. And the voice in the darkness is like, you promised, but you lied. As they get deeper into this kind of like temple, again, you can tell at one time it was like really nice, but it's just it stinks. It's all dilapidated now, and they're here searching for the source of the orange. And they come across the orange central or the orange power battery. As they grab a hold of it, they are instantly attacked by these orange light constructs. Only these aren't like normal light constructs. Each individual one seems to be a lantern of their own, and they're just ripping these controllers to shreds. Then we flip over to Hal Jordan. Now, again, he has just shed the red lantern, and he's now got the blue and green ring on, and he doesn't know how to control the blue ring. He wants them to take it off, and he just wants to go back to being a Green Lantern. And the Blue Lanterns are trying to tell him, to like, look, you've got to have hope, you know. And how Jordan's going back and forth with him, he's like, what good is hope? Somebody's got to have the willpower to do something about it, right? And they're like, yeah, that's true. Hope does need will. And so again, getting back to the fact that in order, the blue ring needs a Green Lantern around for it to work. And again, they're trying to assure him all will be well. And as Hal Jordan, he's trying to locate Ganthet and Syed, because they're the creators of the blue ring. And between the green ring and the blue ring, it's getting confused. He's unable to locate them, and the blue ring just keeps saying hope, hope. It's like it's telling him what to do. And it's asking him, what do you hope for? And they're the message they're trying to give Hal is like, look, you're going to have to give in some. You're going to have to give into your hope. And essentially, once he once he lets it be known what his real hope is, only at that point once he expend the power of the blue ring, and it will leave him. And again, Hal's just stubborn. He doesn't want to hear any of this, and he can't figure out how to work it, is really what's going on here.
It didn't come with an owner's manual, is what you saying?
Exactly. Yes. So he goes flying off. He's like, I need to find Sinestro because at the end of the last issue, Sinestro took off. So the Blue Lanterns are like, hey, should we go assist him? And Ganthet inside said, no, we need to go find the Indigo light because compassion and hope go hand in hand together. Let's see, where are we? So Hal, again, he's going off trying to find Sinestro. The Ring's asking him, what do you hope for? And his green ring is malfunctioning, and it's finally telling him you will return to Oa. We switch back over to the outskirts of the Vega system, and we've got Stell is chasing one of these rogue yellow lanterns. And he's trying to bring him in for murder, but he gets to the outside of the Vega system sector, and he knows that he is not supposed to go in there. But because he's pursuing the yellow lantern here, he decides to override his instructions and follow him in. At that point, this giant orange lantern shows up, or this orange construct, and just chomps down on the yellow lantern. Takes his ring, mine, and takes a look at Stell, and again realizes that the Green Lanterns have entered Vega space, and they are not supposed to have. We go back to Oa, and the Guardians are trying to remove the blue ring from Hal, but they're unsuccessful. And of course, they're upset with him, as they always are. Then they bring back pieces of Stell, and they're reviewing his body, and you can see this orange symbol on his chest. And from out of it comes a light construct of Larfleeze. And he's saying, you said it, be mine. And he's obviously very unhappy with the Guardians. Apparently, they had a pact never to enter the Vega system, leave it alone to Larfleeze, and Larfleeze wouldn't leave. But now Larfleeze considers the pact to be broken, and he's like, you spoiled my feeding time. So he's threatening them. Great artwork.
Yeah. If you want to, can we acknowledge some chat real quick? Some people have come in or came in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
don't want to ignore them.
Hey, Paul. All right, we'll see you on the rewind then. Thanks for stopping by. And we also got the Jackson Roykirk. How's it going? Good to see you. And we've got Old Wolf. Lasso had to take a break tonight, but he handed over the stream to us trustworthy gentlemen, and
Yes.
we're doing our best.
Yeah.
We forgot the dad joke at the beginning, though.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
Yeah,
Start over.
that's on you.
Start the stream over.
All right, so we'll jump back to the story here, and the Guardians like, we do not negotiate with terrorists, and the basically they're proposing a new law that the Guardians, that the Green Lanterns now be allowed into the Vega system. And that's where this story ends. So next, Green Lantern versus the Orange Lantern Corps. All right, Agent Orange. Here we go. Yeah, there's that cover I showed earlier.
That's
I love
an awesome
that one.
cover. Yeah.
It really is. All right. So it starts out actually with Fatality, who is has a Star Sapphire ring. And she's reminiscing. She's at the remnants of her home world that has been destroyed by John Stewart, accidentally, of course. And she's reflecting on the fact that when she was a Yellow Lantern, she would have gone after him. But is it yellow or red? I think it was yellow.
Yeah.
But now that she's a Pink Lantern, she has love in her heart again, and she's looking for John Stewart basically to forgive him. And that's really the last we see of her in this story. But we go over to this other Green Lantern. Apparently, his original homeworld is in the Vega system, and he's kind of a what does he say? A nomad. He never likes to go to the same place twice, so he really never wants to go back home again. But the Guardians are kind of debating this new law proposal to allow the Green Lanterns to basically break the pact with Larfleeze, and they agree. There's some dissenting voices, but overall they get the majority vote, and it is so. So the Guardians send the Green Lanterns to the Vega system basically to take on Larfleeze. And we get this Nomad Lantern here who, again, he's not real thrilled about it, but he's like, okay, it's my duty as a Green Lantern. So, I'll go there. I'll return home. Um, Meanwhile, within the Vega system, there's like something like 27 planets in that solar system, and it's become a haven for criminal activity because the criminals of the galaxy know, or criminals of the universe, I should say, know that the Green Lanterns won't patrol this system. But now that they know they're coming, there's like this mass exodus. They're all trying to get off these planets. So you can see they're all flying away, like trying to escape the
I
Green
remember that.
Lanterns.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Green Lanterns come in force and they start arresting these criminals. I love the splash pages and with all the lanterns
Oh
together. They
yeah.
they do that every once in a while. That's like classic Lantern.
The Rise of the Third Army did it really. They had one of the better ones with
Yeah.
all the emotional spectrum. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, they're like, start building more science cells. We're gonna need them. And again, the blue ring is still asking Hal, what is it that you hope for? So Hal and John are just having a little chat about some things going on. I'm not going to get into that because it's not really relevant to this story. Um, at this point, yeah, they're talking about how the ring will remove itself once it's been used, but he's got to hope for something first, and he's still trying to figure out what he hopes for. Um, In fact, he even tries to figure it out. He's like, do I hope for true love, winning the lottery, world peace? And he's like, yeah, that's it, world peace. I hope for world peace. And the ring's like insincerity registered, and it sends him crashing down onto the planet. And that's where he meets the Nomad Lantern. And we can see the Nomad, his ring level starts supercharging because he's within range of Hal. The other lanterns show up. And they start looking for Larfleeze. They go and they find the orange lantern symbol, and there's a shout of no from inside, and instantly the orange lantern constructs show up, and you can see there's one of the controllers. So what happens here is every time Larfleeze takes a life, he absorbs their life energy, and it becomes a light construct, basically adding to his army. And the Guardians recognize him, like, oh my gosh, the controllers, they've fallen. The orange light's very powerful. They're trying to fight, but they're realizing that the orange constructs are too strong for the green ones, and they're losing the battle pretty quick. You can see the Nomad here. He gets caught between multiple constructs, and dude, they just rip him apart. And you can see instantly his ring goes flying off, initiating a scan as they just eat him. And instantly they start replicating the bodies of the lanterns they just took their lives of. So here you go. There's the Nomad. He's now an orange lantern. But it's not really him. It's like the ghost of him, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Hal starts going up against Larfleeze, and he notices the blue ring. He's like, "How'd you get that ring?" He's like, "I want one too." Check that out. And that's where this one ends off. So basically, Larfleeze is on the hunt for the blue ring. And I will turn it over to you, Tony, for the next one.
That's a good little run there.
Trustworthy.
Yeah. We promised not to auction off his channel.
Yeah.
To the lowest bidder. Great page. I like the this one doesn't have a B cover. Okay, I guess there's an A cover. So
Is that 40?
Yeah, this is 41.
Oh, I've got a B cover here.
Yeah.
That's this one.
Oh, yeah, they didn't put it here. Yeah. So I didn't realize this till I got to Baltimore. I could have had like most of these signed by Geoff Johns, Phillip Tan, and a lot of the cover artists. So I foobarred.
You did.
So yeah, issue 41, the Guardians Secret Pact revealed. We jump into Space Sector 2828, the Vega system, where this giant battle is taking place between the Green Lanterns and the Larfleeze. Wait a minute, which issue did you do? You just did 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. For some reason, I thought I was reading issue 42, but okay. So yeah, if you recall that big giant meal that that buffet you were talking about, all you can eat Larfleeze buffet. Here it is. You finally get to see what it looks like up close and personal. Yeah, and Larfleeze is saying the Green Lanterns interrupted his dinner, which was roasted hagglebeast, steamed riproot, and for dessert, Lorful bug pudding pie. Delicious. Yeah, this is like the first big, Larfleeze thing here. So yeah, Larfleeze. We start off with Larfleeze wanting a blue lantern. And like in your previous issue, he's like, "How did you get that thing?" And he tries to take it. It doesn't really work. Not everything is yours. And while this conversation is happening, Larfleeze is smacking down on some lizards. And then the ring asks again, "What do you hope for?" And the blue ring, or he replies, "I hope for the blue ring." And the ring replies back, "Hope is selfless," and kind of zaps him. And Hal Jordan kind of takes the time while he's distracted to attack. But it's not going well for the Guardians and the other Lanterns here. They're still pretty much being torn apart. Here's one they got John Stewart taken apart here, but here comes fatality here. She says, "Greetings, Green Lantern. Want to talk about you, yeah, and how you've destroyed my world." And you know, uh, we cut back to Space Sector 2814, Sinestro's home world, and he's visiting the grave of I don't know how you pronounce this person's name. Youngra. Youngra. We'll call it Youngra. We cut back to Space Sector 666, and I believe this is the space sector with no sun. Like it's just black. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, wise Green Lantern.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is, and I forget the name of the lantern. Is that's there, but he's writing home, about his journey so far. He's keeping like a log, and these we'll call them space vampires. That's what they kind of look like. Come in, but remember they're very sensitive to light because this space sector has no sun, has no light, so he's able to disperse them quickly. We cut back to Okra, where Larfleeze is from. Space battle continues. Again, the ring asks Hal Jordan what he hopes for, and his current ring power is at 210%. So he's like crazy supercharged. Larfleeze and Hal Jordan are still having the conversation about I need that Blue Lantern. How did you get it? And while he's convincing Hal Jordan to give him the ring, he goes into this like reminiscing about how he came to be, where he and his gang of criminals were going to pull off this perfect heist. It didn't go well. They got interrupted by the Manhunters. They were able to escape. They jump back onto their ship. They're trying to figure out who's to blame, but they decided to just, tack with it. We're just going to go to the next score. They go to the next score. They get trapped down below. They fall through some kind of like temple wall. They land on the bottom. They see one single orange power battery. They all go for it. You know what I mean? There's those three, whatever the species of Larfleeze is, three of them trying to pull apart this lantern. And finally, the Guardians show up and they say, "Listen, this big fight coming on, whatever." Then there's down to two. Something happens at third one. There's down to two. Where is it? Right down here. Here's the pin I'm looking for. For the safety of others, only one of you will be allowed to keep it. Only one of you will be allowed to keep it. So that's how Larfleeze had to kill his friends, so to speak, and become the Orange Lantern. He had to pretty much, there can be only one Highlander kind of moment. But Larfleeze is blinded by his greed, and he keeps trying to take off this Blue Lantern. Uh, um, and then finally, you hear Larfleeze of Otagu, "Welcome to the Blue Lantern Corps." Or Blue Lantern Corps. Up next, Agent Blue. We're gonna zip over here to 42, and here's that iconic cover. Phillip Tan on the cover. I could have had him sign this one. I met him. Darn. So yeah, Larfleeze is able to get the ring off. Finally, he was able to put it on and become like this hopeful, greedy creature, which is interesting. Um, yeah, no, he's put it on. He becomes blue, and then it's like it doesn't work on him. So he's it just slides right off, and Hal's there to try to like scoop it up again. So sets a prelude to Agent Orange Part 4. I'll create mine, you create yours. Again, how Larfleeze accuses, of Hal Jordan stealing his ring. We cut back to Fatality and John Stewart. Fatality is talking about her world, Fatality is talking about her world to John Stewart. He's trapped in like this big light construct of what he did. He doesn't want to be there anymore. He's sounds like he's got some remorse for accidentally killing his planet or her planet. They share a DNA
It's the most
swapping kiss.
overplayed story. It just like it seems it's like brought up on every John Stewart story. Like it goes on for years and years. Him,
They still talk about it.
yeah, it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But yeah, he's able to pull away, which kind of messes up her concentration. He's able to escape, but remember, it doesn't matter. He's inside this fight between between the green and the Avarice Corps, the Orange Lantern Corps. Meanwhile, Larfleeze and Hal Jordan are still fighting over not only the Blue Lantern but the Orange Lantern. Now Hal wants it. Yeah, here we go. Maybe he's able to control the fight. You know what I mean? Maybe he's able to control this outcome. But Larfleeze takes it back for the brief second. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to me. You didn't earn it like me, but he doesn't really earn it anyway. Um, the orange power battery is now charged to 7,800%. I'll steal the flesh from your slaves, guardians, and then all of you will be welcomed into my core. As he becomes huge, and he grabs like a fistful of Green Lanterns. And again, the Blue Lantern rings Hal Jordan. What do you hope for? As soon as we get out of this, I hope you stop asking me that question. Sincerity registered, power levels 100. And now Hal Jordan is like super blue, supercharged, and he's able to fight off the blue lantern or the orange lantern, but blue lantern invalid. You know, for some reason he's fighting this orange lantern, and the power levels go down so fast, and then it finally flies off his hand and goes flying off somewhere else. Um, Eventually, the battle comes to an end, and the Guardians are hanging out with, not hanging out with, talking to Larfleeze post battle. Um, you know, they they are trying to talk amongst themselves whether or not they want to give Larfleeze this orange power battery, and leave him alone, or take it from him and put him in one of the science cells. But they're pretty split and don't know what to do. Uh, and Larfleeze whispers into the ear of one of the Guardians and says, "I want, I want to know where I can find a Blue Lantern ring." And then we cut to Odium, the home planet of the Blue Lanterns. Where we is this the first Saint Walker? This isn't the first Saint Walker.
No, he was in mine.
Yeah.
He's number 25 too, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
But he
So anyway,
he showed up before that in story too.
sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So the Guardians, the Blue Guardians, have this feeling about something's coming, and they look up, and sure enough, here comes Larfleeze and his Orange Lanterns taking on the Blue Lanterns. And long story short, I think this is technically a different story, but anyway, it's an epilogue, and it's a huge teaser to. It's a tomb. No, it's a Black Lantern, and it seeks flesh. Dun dun dun.
Nice. Yeah, because I think after this is Blackest Night, right?
Yeah, you're right.
This was the prelude, so yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I love that story. I think it's great, and I actually missed the little mini story in mine. I forgot to read it, or I read it, but I forgot to show it tonight. It's basically how Gromulus comes about, his origin. He's that famous Orange Lantern construct, right? He was, I guess, some kind of like space slug that would clean up like after dinner for people. He was like a slave basically that was like would again do the dishes and stuff, and Larfleeze got a hold of him and just ate him dead and made him his construct. It's basically like that was it. That's his origin. It was like,
I
oh,
needed,
okay.
yeah, I needed a slave, so I ate one. That's too funny. That sounds like something Larfleeze would do.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Larfleeze is a fun character because he starts out here, he's like, "Is this mine?" But the more you get into him, you realize like in a way he's kind of tragic, but at the same time, he is not a good guy. Because like even before he had the Orange Lantern, he was willing to do stuff.
There's also a really awesome Larfleeze one shot, Starfleeze Christmas special,
Yep.
where he comes to Earth and learns about Santa Claus. Oh, it's Santa Claus will give me whatever I ask for. He has this like insane list, and then gets nothing for Christmas, and then
Yeah.
swears he's gonna find and kill Santa. And then he goes into a mall and sees just like 50 Santas.
Yeah. No, he's good comic relief, but at the same time, like he's really powerful. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
no
is.
joke.
Look, he just took on almost the entire Green Lantern Corps, killed
Yeah.
some of them, and the only reason he didn't continue is because he wanted to do something else.
He got distracted. Yeah.
Yeah, ooh, shiny, so he stopped.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, so what would you rate this issue on a scale of 10?
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. This is a classic Green Lantern story, and one that I recommend to almost everyone, even if you're a new Green Lantern person.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard not to give this storyline a 10. But I'm gonna do it. We don't have to give out 10s, but I'm gonna give it a 10.
I'm gonna give it a
It
9.
checks all the boxes.
I know, but I'm gonna give it a 9 only because of some of the other peripheral stories around this I know are even better. So, but yeah, compared to like most other comics, yeah, I agree. It'd be a 10.
Yeah. This is a definitely must have. And if you haven't read it, I mean, read it online. Do yourself a favor. It's
Yeah, the whole
awesome.
Geoff Johns run. And you've got to read it with the Green Lantern Corps too, side by side, because they really do go hand in hand.
See, that's what I like about Geoff Johns, but also what I dislike about Geoff Johns. He's really good at making like two separate issues like connect and weave together.
Yep.
Because then you're just like, God damn it, I didn't really want to read that, but I guess I'm gonna have to now.
Oh, it's so good though. It really was just this epic story. I mean, it
It
took
was.
like 5 years or something, or maybe even longer than that.
Yeah, he said it took him about 5 years to write.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his whole run on the panel, and he said, yeah, he wrote it in 5 years, but to say, what event would happen when, like he's also coming up with stuff on the fly,
Yeah.
and having to weave it in somehow.
Yeah. And
Um,
so many characters. So many characters for a comic book. I mean, and he introduced a lot of new ones too.
yeah, and big DC proper was like, they loved it. So they're like, more, 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 more.
It was the biggest story in DC for years.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to go for as long as it did.
I'm glad it did.
Yeah,
Want to say hi to Ben Compton. He'd give it a 10 as well. Good.
yeah, it's a great story.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it then for tonight. We ready to get on to the book show?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me grab my book show. So there's a lot of good books that go with this run. It's trying to find like a compliment. What goes great with this dessert? I have one. Just gotta figure out. I have so many Green Lanterns signed. Yep, here
I
it
need
is.
more of the variants.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on.
So here's kind of like here's my favorite. Are you going first or want me to go first?
No, go for it.
Okay, great. So one of my favorite Red Lantern covers is probably this one from Final Crisis.
Yep.
Classic, love it. Shows how
That's
Jordan.
another. I think that's like first Atrocitus, right?
Yeah, definitely first Atrocitus cover, or maybe it is first Atrocitus.
I think it's first Atrocitus again, outside of maybe 25, which they've got each one in like a tiny little cameo.
Oh, you mean this 25?
Yes. And that's actually the 1 in 25 ratio, right?
Yeah, that's the one that you sent me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sent me this, and I took it with and got it signed. So,
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
it
you were
was.
looking for another book to sign. I said, I got an extra one of these. This is the
Yeah,
book to have. You got to get this one signed.
because I was able to take 16 books, and I had my top 15 picked out.
Yeah.
I needed one more, and you're like, bro, this one. So double high five to you. So yeah, I got this
Very
bad boy
nice.
signed.
Awesome. Well, for my book show tonight, I'm sorry. Actually, before I go on, do you want to share anything going on with your channel?
Oh yeah, just a lot of shorts coming up. This past week, I was again a guest on the Signature Slayers channels. We're talking legendary Copper Age signatures. So head over to Sig Slayers YouTube channel, give him a subscribe, and yeah, boy, I thought I had a lot of signatures. This guy's got so many signatures in his room. He's literally tripping over them, trying to show me cool stuff. He has original Blackest Night art signed. OG pencils from Blackest Night.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Well, for my book show tonight, it's not actually a book, but I finally it had to go back and forth a few times with Target because they kept sending me the wrong one, but I finally got it. I got my Red Lantern Hal Jordan. And it's pretty fitting for tonight's show, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. I guess this came from Target Con. It's one of the new ones, but I
Target
collect
Con?
anything. Yeah, I don't know. I collect anything Green Lantern. So I've got all of the other Lantern pops. I had to get that one.
Sounds like something my wife would have a VIP pass to. Target Con.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
uh,
I didn't know they had Red Lantern Funko Pops. Do they have a Larfleeze pop?
Not yet.
Huh.
No. But yeah, no, that's the only Red Lantern one they have. Like they don't have Atrocitus or anything.
No Atrocitus, but I have Red Lantern. Well, I guess you might as well. Not everyone knows who Atrocitus is, but some people might at
Yeah.
least know who Hal Jordan is.
Yeah, it's weird. They've done hit or miss like Lantern ones. It's weird. Like they've got a Yellow Lantern Batman, the Red Lantern Hal. You've got a Blue Lantern Flash, right? So
Ooh.
they and a bunch of the White and Black Lanterns, all of the Justice League characters, even Firestorm. But they don't have like the other lanterns, I guess, like the main lantern in each emotional spectrum. In fact, the only other lanterns they have other than the Earth Lanterns are they've got Kilowog and Chip.
I guess they do have a Larfleeze pop,
They do?
but it's an actual Larfleeze pop, like it's a soda.
Oh.
But it's made by Funko. I guess it's Funko Pop. That's how they get
Now,
away with it.
I've got I know there was a John Stewart one and a Hal Jordan one. You're saying there's a Larfleeze one too?
Yeah, I'll pop it up on
Oh,
my screen.
cool.
Yeah, Larfleeze Funko Pop.
Oh, wow. I wonder if
Like,
that's new. I haven't seen that before.
I don't know if it's something that
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look
it looks
at
like you can get on Amazon. Funko Soda Larfleeze
I'm definitely gonna have to look at that.
from San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, they probably only made like 10. They sold out instantly. I hate it when they do that.
That's pretty cool though. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Larfleeze.
All right.
What they should have done, those Green Lantern or power batteries you can get
Mm-hmm.
for orange, they should have just made one. Just one.
Let
You know what I mean? Just everybody's set will
us
always
all
and forever.
fight over it.
Yeah. Everyone's set will be always incomplete. For
Right.
the end of time.
That's just wrong.
And it's Geoff Johns has the only one, so
Right.
he's got to keep it in like a bank vault or something.
That'd be
Because people break into his house. That would be really fun if DC did that.
Yeah. They'd
That'd be
screw it
really
up
fun.
though.
Yeah, one, but someone puts in like 10 more zeros.
Yeah, right.
And now the market's flooded. Oh, that'd be the luck that I have.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone that joined us here tonight. Anybody watching on the replay, I hope you enjoyed this Green Lantern story. We had Agent Orange tonight, and we will be back next week. Magic Lasso should be able to return with us, and you never know. Tim might even be here. Probably not, but could be.
Could be.
So, all right. Well, thanks everyone, and we will see you next week. Bye.